Okay. All right, I hereby call this meeting to order at 5:02. And Senator Watts, would you like to lead us into the fight song?
Sure. 1, 2, you know what to do.
Hail to the
Guns and
Tigers, we're
shoes to the black and gold.
Fight
Fight
on for courage, now and forever. Victory is strong and bold. Fight, fight, fight. Hail to the Dolphins and Tigers. Stand proudly for all to see. Fight, fight, Tigers, fight. Lead us to victory. You.
Perfect. We don't need to do it again. It's perfect. All right. For the approval of the minutes, are there amendments? Are there any amendments to last meeting's minutes? Sorry, guys. If none, then we will leave them as is. Okay. Are there any amendments to the agenda? Okay, Senator Rink.
Motion to strike all communications.
Is there a second?
Senator Faxon, I second.
Is there any discussion? If not, then we'll now move to a vote to strike communications from the agenda. All those in favor?
Can I get the senator count, please?
I'm still taking attendance. Give me a second.
I'm so sorry. I did skip over that. I apologize. We will go back.
It was intentional. I was like, wait.
No, that was my mistake. My bad, y'all. But let me count this real quick. Okay, so far I have 7 in favor right now. Okay, with that, the motion passes. And Attorney General Robinson, can you please do the roll call? Again, my apologies.
No problem. Treasurer Eagle,
Present.
Vice President DeVoe, President Dion,
Present.
Chief of Staff Ambush,
Present.
Director Nduka,
Present.
Assistant Director Walton,
Present.
Assistant Director Bello,
Present.
Director Whiteside, Director Fishkin,
Present.
Director Shiskafka, Director Perot,
Present.
Director Kapoor,
Present.
Assistant Director Ferguson,
Present.
Solicitor General Whiting,
Present.
Director White,
Present.
Director Moody,
Present.
Director Diame,
Present.
Director Brown,
Present.
Director Kemp, Director Hogarth,
Present.
Assistant Director Banks,
Present.
Representative Blumenau,
Present.
Pro Temp Wheeler,
Present.
Senator Dixon, Senator Watts,
Present.
Senator Kinsey,
Present.
Senator Goodman, Senator Hardin, Senator Tetty,
Present.
Senator Teklu,
Present.
Senator Eaglin,
Present.
Senator Rink,
Present.
Senator Thaxton,
Present.
Chief of Staff, Chief Deputy Foreman, Chief Justice Foreman, sorry.
LOL, present.
Justice Sherman,
Present.
Justice Egbunine.
Present.
Thank you, everyone. And I'll give you the senator count in a second. 7 senators are present.
Okay, thank you so much. I don't know if we scroll down this. Okay, there are no guest speakers today. Is there any public participation or student concerns? If none, then we will move.
Well, I had something I wanted to say about the bill that's being proposed later.
Yes.
So I just wanted to say the syllabus and textbook deadline bill will definitely have a long-lasting impact on the Towson community. I want to extend a special thank you to Senate President Pro Tempore Willer for working so diligently and keeping me in the loop every step of the way. I hope we all can agree on the importance of making sure professors are providing an inclusive environment for students by giving Towson students adequate notice of potential textbook purchases and course requirements. Thank you for giving me the time to speak.
Thank you. All right, are there any opinions of the court? Okay, then there's no unfinished business, so we'll now move into new business. Are there any motions on the floor? Senator Rank?
I move that we review resolution number 32.
Is there a second?
Senator Teddy, I second.
Is there any discussion? If not, we'll now move into a vote to review resolution number 32. All those in favor? All opposed? Abstaining? And Director Kapoor, can you please read the vote aloud for us?
7 in favor.
Thank you. With that, the motion passes. We're now reviewing resolution number 32. Okay, you guys can still see everything okay? All right, Senator Ring, would you like to speak on this bill?
Sure. So good evening, everyone. So this bill is in regards to implementing deadlines for syllabi and course material to be uploaded on Blackboard. As you can see, there was some research that I did. I sent out a survey and approximately 50-ish students responded to the survey indicating when they would prefer their professors to upload to Blackboard, when their professors do upload to Blackboard in actuality. And as you can see, most people's professors upload their course materials and syllabi to Blackboard no more than a few days in advance. Some of them the first day of class, like a good portion of them the first day of class or the night before. And when they were asked how early they would like their professors to upload to Blackboard, most students said at least a week in advance. So in addition to it being clearly at least the samples wish that professors upload at least a week before classes start, it's also in the best interest of the student body, in our opinion, because students who especially are in some sort of situation where they might be experiencing financial hardship, they oftentimes, most of the time, don't know how much their course materials would cost for those classes, and to receive that information only a day before classes begin, and then you only have 1 week to decide what to do with your course schedule is honestly, in my opinion, unfair. And also a lot of people might not understand the coursework required for a certain course, and when they get all of their syllabi the day before the day of classes beginning, then it doesn't give students much time to decide whether or not they feel comfortable taking as many classes as they are. So for those reasons, and in addition, I do believe there is somewhat of a double standard. Professors and students are held to quite different standards in terms of timeliness. So I think that this is just the most fair solution for students to have their course materials and syllabi uploaded to Blackboard for their access no later than 1 week before the start of classes.
Okay, thank you. Lewis, would you also like to speak on this? You had sort of said a few words earlier, but if you would like to say some more, just let me know in the chat and the senator can yield their time to you. Okay, Director White, point of information.
Yes, I just had a question about the bill. So in addition to the professors having to inform folks about like required readings a week before, for people who drop courses or anything of that nature, would like course offerings or required textbooks, would that be like public information? So say I'm considering dropping one science class to pick up another science class, would I be able to see the required readings for that other science class ahead of time? Or would like the textbooks be locked and that be kind of like confidential information only for folks who have already joined the class? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense. So what this bill specifically addresses is that if you are on the Blackboard site, so if you have enrolled in the course, you'll be able to see it. But I do think that's a good point, and that would be something that I would really like to work on future legislation about, because I think that would make class registration a much less stressful process for most students. I can speak for myself. So I would love to do that in the future, but for this specific bill, to answer your question, this is just if you are enrolled in the course, your course material will be uploaded, or at least the syllabi and required texts and stuff will be uploaded at least a week before classes begin.
And I don't know if I missed this in the legislation, but if the professor does not have it up in a week, what happens?
So that's not specifically addressed, but I think it would be sort of a thing where it's up to the department head to see what they think is appropriate course of action to take with the professor. That is a good point though. So I think if we wanted to make an amendment to include something about that, I would be open to doing so, but it's not specifically addressed either.
Okay, I see. Thank you.
Okay, Director Moody, point of information.
Okay, I think Dominique kind of already, I'm sorry, Director White, she already kind of asked this question, but my question was more so, is the actual cost gonna be in the syllabus? Does this resolution kind of address that too? Or is it just gonna have like the course material?
So this resolution states that the course material, including the textbooks needed and the like direct access, stuff like that, be posted on Blackboard for the students to have access to. So from there, it would be also a good opportunity for the students. They would have a week before classes start to see how much these would cost, like to see how much the direct access would cost, to see if there are cheaper options on like Chegg or Amazon or something. So it doesn't, like, there aren't like specific prices included, but it would have all the information students would need to make like an educated decision about how much they could afford.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Director Hogarth, point of clarification.
I do believe that professors actually are required to submit their course material a semester ahead of time to the bookstores. So my question for this legislation would be, if that material is made available a full semester beforehand, what specifically would change the, like, what is it, just the syllabi, like the entirety of the syllabi that we're highlighting, or just the emphasis on the course material? Because I correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe professors are required to post their course materials that are going to be required for that school, that semester, to the bookstore, and the bookstore is supposed to have that information available throughout the semester before, and it's public record.
I think, Lewis, I yield my time if you have something to say.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, professors are supposed to do that. And a lot of times, like some professors that are like on top of things, they do upload their books to the bookstore. But a lot of times, a lot of professors don't include their books in the bookstore, but they have it in their syllabus. So I think it's a better idea in this like actual legislation to require it in their syllabus and have them like post it a week ahead of time instead of like relying on them like posting it on the bookstore's website.
So my question is, it's about, are we emphasizing the course material or just like syllabus as a whole? Because I do know that one of the things brought up in this meeting too was the fact that people want to be able to know the requirements for the course as well. Like
Right, you're exactly. So this is mostly about the upload onto Blackboard for the convenience of the students, but also the syllabus itself, because I've had access to the university store where it said that I would need a pretty expensive textbook. And then when I get to the class and the syllabus, it says basically the department just makes me put a textbook down for the sake of putting a textbook down. You don't actually have to buy it. And I know a lot of other students have had like similar experiences. So the main thing would be like, yes, the syllabus and course information, but also within that syllabus, hopefully it would say the course material that is needed and if it's actually needed or if they just had to put something down.
Thank you.
Okay, Chief of Staff Ambush, you have a question?
Yeah, before I ask my question, can you scroll up to see that chart that's like halfway cut off?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. Okay, my question was like, how'd you come to like picking up 1 week instead of like maybe 2 or 3 weeks? In my personal opinion, I think 2 weeks maybe a bit better, just because I know like, you know, I'm getting into those like higher level classes, those 400 level classes, and they be asking for books that don't be getting here until like 2 weeks after the semester started. So I was wondering like if we could, this is not a formal recommendation, this is just like a suggestion, like making it maybe 2 weeks in advance. I personally, like, professors have all of winter break or the entirety of the summer to have their syllabus up. So I don't see why like 2 weeks would be not possible for a professor.
I definitely agree. I personally also would like 2 weeks. I like to plan out things, but I went with a 1 week just based off of the majority response, but I would be open to changing it. I'm not sure if that's something that anyone else has an opinion about.
Lewis, did you want to add in as well? If so, the senator can yield their time to you again.
I yield my time if he has anything to say.
No, I don't have anything else to say. Senator Rink, you literally basically said the things I was going to say. Yeah.
Okay, Director White, you have a comment?
Yeah, so if you all were to move it to 2 weeks in advance and a professor does not have the text up before the first day of class, I also think that if they do not comply with the guideline, then they should be required to offer 2 weeks worth of free and easy access readings instead of just, you know, like no type of alternative. And just so that like so that number one, instruction can continue, but also there isn't another burden that students have to bear because professors are not adhering to guidelines. So if you all were going to like change the bill at all, I would say yes, 2 weeks in advance, but also is there a no syllabus, no class rule? Oh, okay. I was like, whoa, okay. But then if they do not get them in 2 weeks, then I think that they should offer easy access, free readings for students to obtain in a timely fashion. With that, I yield.
I think that's very fair. I would say maybe if we pushed it back to 2 weeks and a professor didn't comply, then the first week they should not be allowed to require any materials so the students still have those 2 weeks worth.
Okay, Treasurer Yeager, you have a comment?
Yeah, I was saying, I think the bill is great. I think we should, as Director White had mentioned, add like an accountability portion of it, because my fear would be that professors don't really listen to this. So I think by adding that, not only extending it to 2 weeks, but also telling them that they have to also comply with this as well. So if they're requiring textbooks and all that, and they're not following that 2-week guideline, they do have to make effort to offer either some pages of the chapter or whatever, but just make sure they're matching the student's level as well. And I yield.
Chief of Staff Amos, you have a comment?
Yes. So I just have a suggestion. Like I have no doubt that this won't. I believe this will pass. But once this passes, I really think Senator Rink and with Director DMA should like approach the provost with this, because I definitely know the provost will have some words. And I could imagine the academic senate trying to like take up their own version of this bill and possibly, you know, use that time to say like, oh, the students are being babies. So I really think like once this bill's passed, we should take it to the provost. And if it does go to the academic senate, I think like we should all pull up and be like, yo, y'all want to talk about our bill? Let's have the conversation.
I'm with that.
Dr. DMA, you have a comment?
Yeah, I just wanted to add with what Olivia said, like, and also, was it what Olivia said? I forgot who said it. Sorry, Chief of Staff Yanovich. Like, about like the textbook, having, oh no, it was Director White, with the textbook and having free PDFs or like free chapters and stuff. And I know like we had another bill that was passed and stuff like that. So like there is a committee coming up for textbook affordability and having, it's a hard word, and having those like free chapters or like free textbook option available. So that's another thing to add to that.
Okay, is there any further discussion? Or would anybody like to make a motion to add in a disciplinary act if professors don't meet the 2-week requirement or anything like that?
Yes, I am not sure if I would like to make a motion to add the clause in right now, or if I would like to table this resolution so that I could come up with a more thorough clause about accountability. Not sure what, if anyone has a recommendation for.
Chief of Staff Amos, you have a comment?
I think we can amend this just to add like a small clause. And then once this is like, you know, this eventually has to go to the provost. So once those meetings with the provost starts, you can like really hammer out the defined details. But I think it would be fine just to add a simple like whereas that adds is it whereas or therefore? One of the two, just adding some sort of small accountability process.
Okay, is there any further discussion?
Oh, sorry.
Senator Reed, would you like to make a motion?
Yes, I move to add to make an amendment to add, whereas any professor who does not comply with the 2-week deadline for course materials or syllabi will be held accountable for the time they, I'm not sure how to phrase it. Will be held accountable for providing students with the course material during the semester. Does that make sense?
So say it again. Say it from the beginning.
I'm writing it down right now. I'm just trying to
put it in the chat. Okay, we might be able to see like that. Senator Chief of Staff Ambush had dropped it in the chat. Is that? Dr. Kapoor?
I just had a recommendation for language, but I just saw Senator Rank's language, so.
Okay, is there a second?
A motion was made to what?
Yeah, in the chat. So Senator Rank made a motion to add in a accountability act for professors. Yeah, the specific wording is in the chat. Does anybody second this motion?
I second.
Okay. Is there any discussion? And Director Moody, your point of information.
Yeah, so my question was, will this like eliminate the excuse of like copyright? Because I've had that issue with a lot. Because I know the professors and stuff, they have the material, but they aren't like willing to share it because they think they are gonna get copyrighted or something like that. So would this like eliminate that, or we can't really control that excuse?
Senator Rank, you have a comment?
I would say that if the professor does not comply with the 2-week period, then they're responsible for finding some sort of course material that they can deliver so that the students still have that time to decide.
Okay, so that makes sense. So basically they'll be required to submit something that they can instead of like the copyright.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something that has free access. If they want to say that there's a copyright excuse, then they have to find something else.
Okay.
Okay, Chief of Staff Ambush, you'd like to respond to Director Moody?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing as Senator Rank. JSTOR is available to us all, and there's a lot of information on there, as well as the Towson Library. They offer online resources for all students. So professors really don't have an excuse to not provide some sort of alternative because we have a lot of free resources that we pay for. So yeah.
Okay, Director DMA, you have a comment?
Oh yeah, it was literally along the same lines as what they said. It's just that like when it comes to copywriting and stuff like that, depending on if the professor wrote the book or if it's someone else's book, that could be a problem. But also at the same time, like professors could have their own set of resources or create their own like slides or like video lectures that could substitute it. So there are ways to like solve these problems.
Okay. Is there any further discussion? If not, we will now move into a vote to add an additional whereas section that says any professor who does not comply with the 2-week deadline for course materials or syllabi will be held accountable for providing free readings that are printed or offered through the internet for the first 2 weeks. Okay, all those in favor? All opposed? Abstaining? And Director Kapoor, can you read the vote aloud for us, please?
9 in favor, but I had the senator count as 7. So
2 people came in late.
Okay, amazing.
Okay, 9 in favor, the motion passes. Now, Chief of Staff Ambush, you have a comment?
Yeah, I yield my time to Corey Bailey. Oh, never mind. Invite the provost to next GA to address ideas and concerns. Thank you. That was it. I retract my motion.
Okay. Is there any further discussion? Senator, would you like to make a motion?
Yes, I believe we need to make a motion. I move to change the 1 week deadline to a 2 week deadline.
Okay, is there a second?
Senator Teddy, I second.
Is there any discussion? If no, we'll now move into a vote to change the 1 week deadline to a 2 week deadline. All those in favor? All opposed? Abstaining? Okay, thank you, Assistant Director Ferguson. It's 9 in favor, and with that, the motion passes. Is there any further discussion? If not, we will now we will now vote on the bill as a whole with the amendments added in. All those in favor? All opposed? Abstaining?
9 in favor.
Thank you. With that, the motion passes. Okay, are there any announcements?
I have a really brief announcement. Just to remind you guys that by the Constitution, we are required to try to enter emails between 1 to 2 business days. So when it comes to matters, especially for senators and interpersonal SGA matters, if you guys could please try to respond to your emails timely. I know it's hard because I have issues with that too. Because sometimes, the emails may go to 2 different places. So if you're having those issues, definitely I'm not sure who can fix that, but Olivier, do you know who can fix that issue
Fix what issue? Sorry.
of the emails? Remember we had that issue of the emails going to 2 different places with Outlook.
Oh yes. If you still need assistance with that, please let me know. And I can help you with that.
Yeah, so I know that was an issue with some emails being delayed, and then also a reminder about the group meetings. Make sure to just keep the professional announcements in the professional chat and the social conversation in the social chat, just so we don't crowd the professional with too much stuff, so that we can all get the important information that we would like. And that is it. Enjoy your weekend.
All right, thank you for that. Are there any more announcements? If none, are there any motions on the floor?
I have an announcement.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, don't forget, Dominique's event is tonight at 6. So I hope to see as many. Well, I unfortunately cannot go. I have prior commitments, but I hope to see. I hope to hear that a lot of you went. And if you cannot go, please share it with at least like 3 friends. It's tonight at 6 o'clock. I'm gonna let Dominique speak more on that.
Yeah, I was actually about to thank everybody for coming to all of the events thus far. We've had good attendance. The vibes were just amazing. So thank you all for everybody who came to the conversation about Black hair, mental health, and history. And thank you for everybody that came to the cooking class yesterday. The food was amazing. And I really, really hope that, we'll have some amazing attendance for the Healing Circle today at 6 from 7 p.m. I cannot wait to see you all. Thanks again.
Okay. If there are no more announcements, are there any motions on the floor?
Senator Teddy, I move to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Senator Ranko, second.
Is there any discussion? If not, we'll now move into a vote to adjourn. All those in favor? All opposed? Abstaining? And
Not
direct-
in favor.